Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a Spain news update. And politicians in the Basque country in the north of Spain have decided to take advantage of the current political situation in Spain to ask for more rights and even a referendum on self-determination. But more about that in just a moment. Firstly, a big thanks to all of the people that have left comments on the channel recently. Lots of comments, lots of debate happening there as usual. Thanks to people that have supported the channel recently, buying me a coffee or through the new super thanks option. Many thanks for that, and a huge thanks to my long-term supporters on Patreon for that support. Now straight into the news, and as I said, the Basque country, or politicians in the Basque country, taking advantage of the current political situation in Spain, all of the negotiations that are going on between the central government, the caretaker government, and Catalonia, Pedro Sánchez and Mr. Puigdemont, and they're asking for more rights. As we can read here, the Basque leader Urkullu takes advantage of Sánchez's open door policy in Catalonia to call for plurinationality and the right to decide, self-determination, referendum, self-government, competences, federalism. These are the concepts that are increasingly gaining prominence in political debate on the public agenda. The fact that the governability of Spain has been and will be again in the hands of Catalan and Basque nationalists means that the questioning of the model of the state is a bottle of soda pop that the pro-independence supporters are shaking with the aim of making it overflow. Pedro Sánchez depends on the support of the PNV and Bildu, ERC and Junts, and their demands to allow his investiture cross the borders that delimit the constitutional framework. The fact that the government has opened the door and agreed to study formulas on amnesty in search of a constitutional fit that would allow criminal relief for those involved in the illegal Catalonian referendum has spurred on another pillar that supports the table on which Sánchez must govern, the Basque nationalists. So there we go, fairly clear what's happening in Spain at the moment. After the recent general elections, Mr. Feijóo, the current opposition leader, doesn't have support because he's not willing to do deals with Basques or Catalonians, but Mr. Sánchez is, and as we can see here, the door is open and people are flooding in with their demands. So not only will the Catalonians put self-determination on the bargaining table, but the Basques are doing it as well. So I imagine that if Mr. Sánchez does keep his job with the support of these nationalist parties, Spain is going to look a whole lot different in 4 years' time if these demands are met. So, what are the experts saying, or the legal experts here in Spain saying about these new demands? Well, as we can read here, jurists see little viability in Urkullu's proposal and doubt its constitutionality. The territorial reform proposal formulated this week by the Lehendakari Íñigo Urkullu in an article in El País generates doubts among jurists. Some constitutionalists consulted by this newspaper consider it to be clearly contrary to the 1978 Constitution, while others point out that it contains aspects that could be explored, but all agree that it is not viable. Urkullu proposes a pact between the state and the historical nationalities, the Basque Country, Catalonia and Galicia, to update the agreed interpretation of the content of the Constitution and change the territorial model. This pact would emerge from a constitutional convention that would interpret the Constitution. Beforehand, all parties would commit to recognizing the plurinationality of Spain and the capacity to decide of those territories. So there we go, and interesting to see that Galicia is being brought into the mix. And remember that the opposition leader, Mr. Feijóo, was leader in Galicia for a number of years. Now he's at a national level, but before he was the autonomous leader in Galicia. So we'll see what Mr. Feijóo and other people that support a strong central government here in Spain have to say about this, but I reckon I know the answer already. Now, changing the topic, and an interesting idea has been put forward about giving free fruit and veg to people that need it the most. And as we can read here, free fruit and veg on prescription. This utopia works and Spain is crying out for it. In Spain, consumption of fresh fruit and vegetables has been falling since at least 2009. It's a trend that is repeated in almost all of Europe and to which many causes are attributed. American influence on the diet, less time to cook, the explosion of delivery, or the increase in the price of fresh produce. So far, no one has found the answer to how to reverse this trend, which has a negative correlation with illness in the population, especially among the lower classes, who are the worst eaters. Although our country has been touting the goodness of its diet to the rest of the world for years, it does not stand out in any category in terms of consumption of healthy products. In Europe, there are 13 countries out of 27 that boast more citizens eating the recommended 5 pieces a day, expressed in grams around 400, than we do. In countries such as the United States and the United Kingdom, which have a serious problem with this, they concluded that desperate situations called for desperate measures, specifically for doctors to intervene directly in the diet of families at risk of food insecurity or cardiometabolic pathologies by prescribing fruit and vegetables on prescription. So the Mediterranean diet here in Spain, and you'll hear it all the time that the Mediterranean diet is the best diet, and Spain is one of the leaders when it comes to the Mediterranean style diet with Italy and Greece and other Mediterranean countries. But as we saw there, a lot of people here in Spain can't follow the Mediterranean diet for whatever reason, and some of the reasons were mentioned there. The North American influence on the diet here in Spain, because more and more fast food options are popping up around the country, especially on the outskirts of the big cities, especially where I live here on the outskirts, lots of fast food choices. Also, people don't have time to cook anymore because people are working. So when they get home from work, the last thing they want to do is cook. So they order something in. Delivery is on the rise. And also, if you go to a supermarket here in Spain, the amount of pre-prepared food is growing year by year. So those are some of the reasons. So what do you think? Is it a good idea to offer fresh fruit and veg on prescription for people that need to eat that food the most? Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Now, an update on the weather here in Spain for anybody coming to Spain shortly. The bad news for you is that the weather is changing. Storms are forecast for the next few days, so not looking good there. And experts are saying that the summer weather has definitely come to an end. And as we can read here, a Dana arrives in Spain today, Friday, with the threat of rain throughout the country. A Dana, isolated high-level depression, will reach Spain this weekend and will leave persistent and widespread rainfall in practically the whole country, according to the Spanish meteorological agency, the AEMET. The storm will start to bring heavy rain and strong storms on Friday onwards, both on the Spanish mainland and in the Balearic archipelago. It is still difficult to know which specific areas will be most exposed to this new Dana. So the rains here in Spain will be falling on the plains as of today and most of the weekend as this new Dana hits the country. And I don't know about you, but I, for one, am looking forward to a change in the weather and especially a bit of rain, because it hasn't rained here for about the last 3 or 4 months, and that's a long time with no rain. Now that's the end of the news, so now let's go into the comment section and check out what has been happening there on recent videos. First one here from Exploring with Jen. The comment from, I believe, Joe about Valencia, I absolutely agree. Due to work, I am traveling on a daily basis up and down the Mediterranean between Barcelona and Alicante, Murcia. It's really nice to see all these beautiful scenery, but I'm always so happy when I return home to beautiful Valencia. The city isn't too big, but also big enough to have everything. I love Valencia. What jazz club are you referring to, Joe? Jimmy Glass? I have been planning for a long time to go there. Yeah, Jen, thanks for the comment. And another person showing their support for the city of Valencia. The topic popped up the other day about the Madrid-Barcelona rivalry. Which city is the best? Somebody said that Barcelona is the best city hands down here in Spain. Lots of people said that that is not the case. They don't like Barcelona. They prefer Madrid. And lots of people said that Valencia is their favorite city here in Spain. And Jen pointing out some of the reasons for that. So again, I'll open this question up to the community. Which is your favorite city here in Spain? Is it one of the big cities, Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, Malaga, or one of the smaller cities that you like the most? Let us know in the comment section below. I'd love to see your opinion. One here from Adam. We can keep deluding ourselves and denying the facts. Bike lanes cause more problems than they solve. They affect traffic fluidity and are a constant hazard to pedestrians. Yeah, Adam, thanks for the comment, but unfortunately I disagree with your comment there. I think bike lanes can be a good thing if they are done correctly. I think that cars and bikes can coexist on the roads, but unfortunately, and as we have seen in some cities here in Spain, they haven't been been done very well. They haven't been planned very well, and they can interrupt the flow of traffic, and that's what people get annoyed about. And another thing I'll say as a bike lane user is that a lot of motorists need to calm down and respect people on bicycles, because a big problem that I see when I'm out and about on my daily rides is that cars can be very aggressive, and some motorists think mistakenly that they are the only people that should be on the roads. So when that starts to change, I think we'll see better cohesion between cars and cycles. One here from Sub Citizen: thanks Stu. A newer Stu to associate with, granted it's getting old too, is the character Stewie from the TV show Family Guy, but that's going on 20 years gone as well. Gen Z wouldn't know who he is either. Stewie would have been a grown adult Gen Z now that I think about it. Yes, Sub-Citizen, thanks for the comment, and this topic popped up in yesterday's live stream about my name, Stuart. Somebody asked how I spell my name, whether it is S-T-U-A-R-T or the S-T-E-W version of the same name, and some of the problems that I have had over the years with my name, because Spanish people can't get their head around the name Stuart. So what I used to do was associate the name with somebody famous, for example, Rod Stewart or Jimmy Stewart. So when people here ask me my name, como te llamas, I would say Stuart, como Rod Stewart or Jimmy Stewart, and people would say, ah, Stuart. But young people nowadays, the Gen Zs out there, have no idea who these two people are. Nobody seems to know who Jimmy Stewart is because they don't watch old movies, and not many people know who Rod Stewart is either, even though he is still touring and giving concerts. And I think recently he had a concert here in Spain, but the younger generation haven't discovered Rod Stewart yet. So I'm open to suggestions. Stewie from Family Guy, maybe a little bit dated too. So if anybody has a new reference that I can use here in Spain when people ask me my name, for example, Stuart Little, the mouse in the movie, I'm open to suggestions. Another one here from Jeff's Travels: this law requiring dog insurance seems fishy to me. For decades and decades, liability insurance for dogs was included in most homeowners insurance. In synchronicity with this new law requiring dog insurance for everyone in the country, all insurance companies have deleted dog insurance from their policies without reducing the price of the policies. This seems like a bigger money grab by an order of magnitude than the bike lanes. Someone needs to investigate and see if there are paybacks going on between the PSOE and big insurance companies. Follow the money. Also, is this a Spain-only issue or throughout the entire EU? Yeah, Jeff, thanks for the comment. And to answer the last question that you posed there, is this a Spain thing or a bigger EU thing? I've got no idea, but somebody replied to your comment saying that it is European Union-wide, so I imagine that Spain is jumping on board this. As I mentioned yesterday, there are already some autonomous communities here in Spain, for example, Madrid and the Basque country, where obligatory dog insurance is already a norm. But it's the rest of the country that will have to change to this new law from the 29th of September, later this month. And is there something fishy going on between the big insurance companies and politicians? I don't know, but it wouldn't be the first time that something like this has happened, right? Another one here from Outdoor Chilled: Northern Europe have had compulsory dog insurance for decades. Stop being drama queens and get the insurance. It's the price of one restaurant visit a year. You will survive. The Outdoor Chilled, thanks for your blunt words, and yes, I imagine that most people will survive with this new obligatory dog insurance that they'll have to pay as of the 29th of September, and as you point out, it's only the cost of one restaurant meal per year, so not a lot of money, but it is still an extra expense for a lot of people, and the more dogs you've got, the more you will have to pay. But I think the previous commenter, Jeff, also has a valid point. What's wrong with the current system that we have where people have this insurance included in their home insurance? Why is that changing? That's a valid question, in my opinion. And the final comment here from Brady: Madrid, huge city in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, Brady, thanks for the comment, and you have described Madrid, Spain's capital city, in less than 10 words. Well done. On that note, I'm going to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.